Hey there guys, Pinobi here bringing another Pokemon Narrated Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be a battle versus Cote1616pb, link below. Great guy, great narrator. This is for his Region War series. He's using a Kanto team trying to beat, or trying to at least play someone of every other region. He asked me, I said sure. I made a Johto. There was a cap of 2 OU max. I wasn't sure if that was 5th gen standards or 4th gen standards, so I told him I had 2 by 4th gen standards OU and a BL, because Raikou is BL in 4th gen. He said that's totally cool. You can see how similar our teams are. Donphan, Sandslash, Clefable, Blissey, Slowbro, Slowking, Raikou, Zapdos, Raikou rather. So really similar team constructions on both our parts, which is really interesting. So let's go ahead and see how it plays out. It is a bit of a long match, as you can see from the time, so it's going to be very intricate, and let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm leading with Kansas, my jump off. Going to go straight for the sub. Reason I went for the sub is I don't want him switching into something that I don't really fear and don't really need a sleep. And if he wants to just go for the rocks, that's okay with me, because if he goes for the rocks, I'm thinking that I can probably just put his Sandslash to sleep on the following turn, because I don't really think he's going to want to switch out. I'm not exactly sure why I thought that, but that was kind of my thought process, and it is what happened, so hey, it works. Now, I go for the Leaf Seed here, and I'm fully aware that he's probably going to switch to Clefable, but the reason that I'm going to I actually go for the Leaf Seed a second time. The reason that I'm doing that is because I want to be able to Encore him into whatever he goes into, because I really need to scout this Clefable set, since Clefable is so diverse. And especially after he goes for the Cosmic Power, I'm like, okay, cool, no problem, I'm going to Encore this. I'm thinking at this stage that this is an Encore Belly Drum set. That's at least my thought process. Not Encore, what am I saying? Cosmic Power Belly Drum set with Facade, and sometimes they have Meteor Mash or Soft Boiled and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm thinking he is, although it's really weird to set up so early, especially since he has such a great defensive team that he can get a lot of support with before doing that. So I switched out, and he predicted that and went to Zapdos to counter my Scissor Switch, which was a great play. But I'm thinking he might want to sub, considering how bulky and defensive his team is. So I went for the U-turn, hopefully to break it, or at least get damage on it. But he outsped me and just hit me with a T-Bolt. So I'm thinking, wow, that T-Bolt did a lot. Maybe this is an offensive-oriented Zapdos. Either way, I'm in here on my Test Tiger, and I figure this is a great chance for me to set up. Even though it's really weird to set up early, he doesn't know what kind of Raikou I am, and he doesn't have a lot to counter my Raikou, to be honest, except for this Clefable, which I wasn't really worried about. So I go for the sub, and he shows me Encore, which is really nasty, man. Encore with Cosmic Power is a set I've never seen before, so it really threw me for a loop, and now it is a huge check to my team. So this Clefable is top 1 priority on my list of things to get rid of. So I go to my Bliss. The reason I want to go to Bliss is because I know he can't touch me, and it's going to be a good chance to get a Wish up to hopefully pass to Scizor. At least I believe that was my thought process. But he goes into Dragonite, which I know is physical, so I'm scared of that. Go to Donphan. I know Donphan has the Ice Shard, which is ×4 effective, so I can at least hit him if I have to, if he wants to just go out for the attack, but he went to Slash. So now he's going to switch out to Slowbro to counter my Donphan, but I'm just going to go for the rocks. And I'm already wondering to myself why he went into Sandslash. Why would you go into your sleep fodder? So that play confused me, and we'll touch more on that in a minute. So he goes for the Toxic, which would have been good on my Donphan. Obviously, he was predicting a switch, or else he could have gone for the safe serve. But I'm sure he wasn't predicting Bliss to come in, because Bliss does have Natural Cure. So not really afraid of the status. And now is where I'm going to go for the Wish in attempts to heal up my Scizor, which is what my plan was before, but unfortunately he had brought in the Dragonite to counter that. So the fact that he keeps bringing in this Sandslash is making me think he doesn't understand the way that the 5th gen mechanic Sleep works, which is once you switch out, your sleep turns are reset, and you are always asleep for the first turn. So every time he brings in his Sandslash, he is essentially giving me 1 completely free turn, which is really useful, especially when I'm in on a Cleric, to heal up anybody on my team. So now my Scissor's at max HP, and he also didn't know the way the 5th gen Wish mechanic works, which is it heals half of the Wish user's HP, which in Blissey's case is over 300, which is easily going to bring Scizor back up to full, which is amazing. So I bring in my Test Tiger. This is pretty much another chance for me to set up. He's been in for 2 turns, and since he doesn't understand the way the mechanic works, I'm thinking he's going to stay in and hopefully EQ, but he went straight to Clefable. I was hoping that if he went for the EQ and he didn't get it, because he's only been in for 2 turns, if I got lucky with the sleep there, I could have got a free sub up and then gone for the Calm Mind on the switch, and then he would only be able to encore me into +1 T-bolts, and I would just keep going for T-bolt, hoping for para or crit or whatever, since there's not much statuses I can get on Clefable with the Magic Guard that are going to be useful, but in 5th gen you can be paralyzed even with Magic Guard. So that was my game plan. Go to my Gyzaris, because I know I can't really do anything with Raikou at that stage with no stat boost, and he knows that as well, so he goes to Slash. Once again, he's thinking he's going to be able to wake up soon here and you know, do whatever he really wants to do, but that's not going to be the case. So I'm going to go into my Inertia, my Donphan, just because I know he's going to be asleep, and I really think he's going to stay in at this stage because he's not too threatened by my Donphan. Maybe he can live an EQ or 2. Well, definitely not 2. Maybe he can live in EQ. So I go for the EQ, knowing he's not going to be waking up, and I am actually going to take him out with a crit. I think the crit may have mattered because Sand Slash is so defensive, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I don't think it would have mattered in the long run because his Slash, I think he was going to leave it in, and then it just would have died again. So that's my thought process. So he brings in this Zapdos, and I'm just going to go for the Ice Shard. Reason I went for the Ice Shard is, once again, just in case he has the sub, I was hoping to hit him down to a level where he could not make a sub, because I definitely think he's predicting a switch and not going to go for the HP Ice if he carries it so soon right off the bat. And that was pretty much my thought process. Now he goes for the HP Ice, but of course I'm going to switch out to Bliss after seeing that he is not going for sub, which makes me think he definitely doesn't have it at this point. And after seeing HP Ice, I'm sure he's going to be a 3-attack Roost set. So yeah, now I can just go for the Wish to get my Blissey back up to really safe health. That way it can sponge anything from that Zapdos later game, because I know that Zapdos and Slowbro both are special attackers, so I want my Bliss at good health. So I go for the Protect here. I wasn't exactly sure what he wanted to do with this Clefable, but I just wanted to protect, maybe scout to see what his last move was, if that were the case. But arguably I could have done something else on that turn. But either way, it's not going to be too big of a deal. So he went to Zapdos, I guess predicting my Gyzaris switch on his Clefable, since my Gyzaris is, or Scizor is my best counter to his Clefable. So that was probably his thought process, and now he's just going to take this turn where I'm stuck with a Cleric, which has no offensive prowess, to roost up so he can use that Zapdos for later. So now I'm going to go back to my Test Tiger just to receive the Wish, because I think that a late game Raikou sweep is my best probability of being able to wipe out this team, especially because at this stage I think his Dragonite is probably bulky considering his team, so I'm thinking it has Heal Bell, so I'm not considering Toxic Stalling a good strategy against his team, and it's not really a good strategy for him to use against me either, considering our similar team makeups. So that's at least what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking he has that bulky Dragonite, and that's kind of guiding my game plan as far as not going for Toxic a lot. So I bring in my Inertia just because I know this is a good chance to spin away those rocks now that I have taken away the Sand Slash. So on his Slowbro, I don't have like that much that can be super offensive towards it. I mean, a Banded U-turn will do a lot from Scizor, even with the defensive bulk of Slowbro. But I think that now I'm going to just try to get a Toxic on him. And my screen recording skipped a bit there, sorry. He just went for Toxic on the switch onto my Slowking, which this is actually a defensive Slowking, so we're running very similar sets here. I think we might even be running the same set, I don't know. But I'm going to double switch, predicting him to predict my Toxic, because I don't want to Toxic his Clefable, because I want to put it to sleep, because as I said, it's my #1 priority against his team. And even if he wants to switch, having another Sleep Fodder is going to be great for me. So I'm just going to go for it. And I don't know if I already told him at this point, but at some point I told him on Skype, just because I don't want to, you know, win because he doesn't understand how it works, how the sleep mechanic works, and he was pretty shocked. So regardless, I'm going to double switch to my Gyzaris. If he wants to stay in, I can get the U-turn for switch initiative and good damage on Slowbro if he stays in again. And if he goes to Clefable, I got the superpower in the wings, so that's what I do. Gonna go for the U-turn because I don't want to reveal to him that I'm using superpower yet. I figure if I don't use it enough, he'll think I either don't have it or he'll over-predict later. So that's kind of, I'm trying to read the battle very carefully on when exactly I can hit that Clefable and kill it, because I have a feeling that's going to be my key to victory. So I'm just going to go for the Thunderbolt, not sure what he wants to do. If he stays in, that's great. I can get more sleep, something else to sleep later. And if he wants to go to Clefable, that's fine, because it means I can get a free switch to Bliss to take away all the status he's been racking up on my team. So he's going to take this turn to switch out to Zapdos. I think, did he switch on the turn? Yeah, he switched on the turn I went to Bliss, I guess predicting Gyzaris again. I don't know. I don't even know if Cazares was already in. I think I had U-turned out. Either way, as I said, I'm going to take this turn to go for the aromatherapy. And that's going to be great, because it means that now my team is not inflicted with those statuses that he's been trying to rack up on me. And his Clefable, now that I've been scouting his set, doesn't seem to have offensive prowess. It's meant for stalling. But regardless, now that I'm back in with Cazares, I'm going to go for the superpower now. I've been going for U-turn all game. He has the +1 defense boost. He might be just going to soft boil up to scout me and take my U-turn. Whatever he wants to do, go for another cosmic power. I'm just going to go for the banded superpower, and it does take it out, which is going to be awesome, because that was the big counter to my Raikou, which is the goal of this team, is to try to set up with him. So now that he's with this Dragonite, I'm going to go to my C runnings. If he's offensive, then I can hopefully take 2 hits and then go to Jump Bluff and stall him out. But he is offensive with Life Orb, but he gets a crit. I'm not really concerned with it, because I can bring in my Donphan now. I would have gone to Jump Bluff before, but at this stage, I really am not looking forward to Subseed stalling his team. And I know that he also has Zam, which is faster than Jump Bluff. So I just go to my Inertia to hit him with the ×4 super effective Ice Shard, which is not quite going to kill, but a second one's going to take him out. Also, I wasn't too worried if I had to sacrifice Donphan, since his physical threats have pretty much been checked at this stage. So that's kind of where we stand with that. So I do manage to take out the Dragonite, which is going to be great for me, and as he brings in Zam, I'm thinking, okay, my best option is just to get a little bit of damage in and let my Donphan be fodder so I can Pursuit Trap him with Scissor, because Alakazam's still a speedy and powerful guy, not really wanting to deal with it, just kind of trying to get this match wrapped up, so to speak, now that I did get my turn of advantage by killing that Clefable. So he brings in Zapdos, which is obviously a great counter. Gonna go to my Atkins fail, my Blissey. Reason I go to Bliss, thinking he might go for the Heat Wave, not wanting to over-predict at this stage on my Cazares, considering I had stayed in that one time. So now I'm just gonna go for the Wish to pass it off to Raikou to hopefully get the sweep. I could have gone straight to Raikou, but didn't want to deal with the chance of Parahacks, didn't want to deal with anything else. I don't know, I just wanted to pass a Wish into him. Wasn't exactly remembering if he was at 100% health or not. Regardless, I did speed this part up. As you can see, I set up my Calm Mind, and now that he can't break a move, or now that he can't break a sub with one move, just set it up and start Calm Minding. At this stage, we're talking on Skype, comparing our teams, how similar they were, similar play styles, what we thought of each other's team, how I had thought his Dragonite was probably Heal Bell, which is something I would not have wanted to see, and I was telling him some stuff about the mechanics. We were discussing Wish Bliss and sleep turns and all that kind of stuff. The fact that I have a physically defensive Slowking, he has a physically defensive Slowbro. I have an offensive Raikou, he's an offensive Zapdos. You know, I have my defensive, especially defensive Bliss, he has his Clefable. So pretty similar team makeups, Donphan, Sandslash, practically the UU and NU versions of each other. Either way, it's going to be a good game. Check Cote out, he's a great guy, and I'm going to catch you guys later. Like if you enjoy, peace.